Hey everybody, and welcome to or back to my channel, My Kind of Stuff. And today I want to talk about my physical TBR. All right, so in this video, we're going to go through my entire physical TBR. I will show you all the books, but honestly, the real reason we are doing this is because my office is where I keep all of my unread physical TBR, and it is a nightmare right now. I have books just stacked on top of shelves. It's just a mess. I will show you here. So, yeah, as you can see, I have some problems, okay? I'm aware, but we're going to fix that today. We're going to organize the books by type and get them looking nicer on the shelf and on my book cart. The top rack of my book cart is my current month's TBR, so we won't be touching those books really, but the bottom two tiers on my book cart and then the three shelves on my bookshelf all need to get reorganized. And yeah, so that being said, let's first start off by organizing all the books by, I guess, like loose genre. I think I'm going to do thriller, horror, YA, romance, dark romance, and then like kind of lump together my fantasy romance, and paranormal romance, because I think like as a group of those things I have a decent amount, but like separately it's only a couple books. So I think that's the way I'm going to do it, but I guess we'll see once I start piling the books up and organizing them where we stand there. So yeah, I'm gonna hop into sorting, and then once I get them sorted, I will show you guys all of the books. All right, so I'm done sorting. I have a couple that like I wasn't really sure where to put them because they don't really fit in any of the groups, but I have two light novels from the solo leveling series. This is book 2 and 3. I've already read book 1 and I don't own the rest of them. So these are on my physical TBR, but they are the only light novels that I personally own. My husband has a collection out in the living room, so I might just put them with his for now. We'll see where those fit. I also had Reincarnation Blues, which I think is kind of like a mix between like litfic and fantasy, but I don't really know, and I didn't know how to classify it, so we have this one as well. And then we also have, I only have one sci-fi book left, guys, and that is Fractal Noise. This is book 2 in the To Sleep in a Sea of Stars series. It's actually pretty short. The first book was really long. So I need to get to this one soon and apparently pick up more sci-fi books because I've really been enjoying them, and this is the only physical one I have left. Also, if you're wondering what those books back there are, those are my library books, so I put them over there so they don't get mixed up with everything else I'm doing. And then obviously my Twisted Retreat shelf, I do have quite a few unread books on there still, but I'm not going to take them off of that shelf. They're still in my office, and also like those, they live together, so it's fine. I know what's in there that I haven't read. This is just trying to organize the part that was an actual mess. All right, so next up, let's go through my fantasy romance, paranormal romance pile and see what we have. The first up is Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match. I keep meaning to read this every October. I've had it for like 2, 3 years now, sitting on my TBR. So I'd really like to get to it next month. But I don't know. Here's to hoping. I also have The Hollow Gods. This one is one of our picks for our Love and Horror book club this year. So excited to get to that one when we get there. Also have No Rest for the Wicked. This is book 2 in the Immortals After Dark series. These are the new covers, and I've been wanting to collect them because I think they're really pretty. I did not like the original covers. So yeah, I will be buying these as they release. I also have books 3 and 4 in the Four Horsemen series. So we have Famine and Death by Laura Thalassa. So yes, I would really like to get to these soon as well. We've been reading them as like part of a traveling book club that I'm in. So I'm going to have to see if everyone wants to continue doing it that way or if I should just read them on my own. Then I also have, this book isn't technically out until next month, but it's Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. I got it from Book of the Month. It has cute little sprayed edges, and I cannot wait for this one. I love Stephanie Garber's writing, and I'm really excited to check out a more adult book by her instead of the YA that I've read previously. And I have Cursed Fates, which is book 5 in the Zodiac Academy series. I also have up through book 8.5, I believe. So I need to pick up the last, I think, 2. But they are out in the living room. These are really chunky books, and I don't know if I'm going to have room for all of them. If I do, I'll bring the rest in here. But if not, I'll keep continuing to do what I was doing previously, which is like once I finish this, I go put it out on my shelves in the living room and I grab the next book in the series. We're just going to have to see what fits because these are some chunky books. I also have Assistant to the Villain, which I would really like to get to. I've heard nothing but great things about this series, and I know there's more books out in it now, but I only own this first one. So yeah, would like to get to that soon. Then I have Pack Darling, which is a complete duology by Lola Rock. This is a special edition from probably Smut Book Box. Another really chunky one, but I think it's probably because it's 2 books in one, because book 1 was part 1 and part 2. So really cool, really pretty. Don't know what it's about, but also have Bloodguard, which is another book of the month book with some sprayed edges. Honestly, the sprayed edges got me. Besides like gladiators, I don't really know anything about this, but it's super cool, and I love the artwork on the inside. I also have The Stars Are Dying, and this is just the sprayed edge edition from Barnes & Noble. Another one that I would really like to get to, but it's just, I never make it a priority. And I also need to pick up the next book in the series because that's out now. Possibly the one after that too. I don't know. I'm behind, okay? And I have another series, Phantasma and Enchantra. Book of the Month came out with editions for these, so I grabbed both of those. That is it for that stack. Let's check out the YA next, because a lot of my YA is also in the same like fantasy realm. So yeah, let me go grab those. All right, so we have A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. This is book 3 in the Ballad of Never After series. I just read book 2 a couple months ago, so definitely need to get to this one soon before I lose all track of the story. And then I also have The Swoven Kingdom and These Infinite Threads by Tahara Mafi. I loved the Shatter Me series, and I also really enjoyed the spin-off of the Shatter Me series that she just started. And these have been on my radar for a while. again, also behind on the series. I know there's at least one more book. There might be 2 more books now. I would really like to get to these soon because I absolutely love her writing. Next up, I have books 2 and 3 of the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I've already read book 1. So we have Siege and Storm and Rise and Ruin. And honestly, I've pretty much completely forgotten what book 1 was about at this point, so we might need to reread that too whenever I get here. Next up, I have Repeat After Me, and honestly, besides it being YA and kind of like a Groundhog's Day thing where she keeps repeating the same day over and over, I don't know anything else about it, but I got by the sprayed edges, and also this was on sale for like $7 at Barnes & Noble, so that's how I ended up with it. I have no idea if I'll like it or not. Next up, I have the Diviners series by Libba Bray. Tell me why they're like the last 2 are slightly shorter than the first 2. It's kind of annoying, honestly, but yeah. So we have the Diviners, Lair of Dreams, Before the Devil Breaks You, and The King of Crows. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this series. So that's how I ended up buying them all before I read a single book. But yeah, we definitely need to dive into that at some point. Then I also have books 2 and 3 of the Boys of Domin series. So keeping 13 and saving 6. I recently read book 1 and really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely want to get to these soon. They're kind of misleading. They don't look all that big, but like the font is very tiny, and these are really super like Bible thin pages. They are much longer than they look, but Finding 13 was really good. So I do want to continue the series, and then if I read these and I'm still liking it, I'm gonna have to pick up the rest because those are the only ones in the series that I own so far. I think from here, let's transition into horror, and then we'll do thriller, and then we'll hop into the romance. Now, my horror and thriller piles are not quite as big because I've been really in a horror and thriller mood lately, so I've been reading through a lot of them. But we can start with 11/22/63 by Stephen King. This is a thick book. I mean, it also doesn't help that it's a mass market paperback size, but she's big and she's intimidating. But I've heard great things, and I really want to read more Stephen King, so that's how I ended up with this. No idea if I'll like it, but we have it, so we'll see. And I also kind of wanted to watch like the Hulu adaptation, so eventually we'll get to it. Next up, I have The Reformatory. This is another one that I've heard nothing but fantastic things about, but again, it's a little bit chunky for a horror, and I've been putting it off. So I need to stop doing that. I need to get to my slightly chunkier books. I guess it's under 600 pages, so it's like not that crazy, but it seems intimidating. But I really do want to read it soon. Next book I have is this one. I struggled between putting it in YA or horror because it is a YA horror, but I stuck it with horror, and that is Another. Honestly, I know nothing about this. Again, another kind of chunky one. But my husband picked this up for me because he thought I would really like it. We follow some middle school kids, and I think the classroom has a curse on it. So yeah, it sounds interesting, and I do actually really want to read it. So we have this. This one I picked up because it looked like it gave the same vibes as the movie As Above, So Below, which I absolutely loved, and that is Under the Surface. Something about like being stuck in these creepy catacombs, man. That's terrifying. And I actually really want to read this soon. Another book that I picked up just this in the last couple weeks is actually a 2-in-1 edition from Barnes & Noble from Stephen Graham Jones. So one side is Killer on the Road, And the other side is The Babysitter Lives. So, yes, this book is super cool. And I don't know anything about either of these stories, but I couldn't help but grab this edition, and I've loved everything that I've read by Stephen Graham Jones so far. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but I absolutely love his writing, and I can't wait to check these out. And then I also have The Library at Hellbore. I got this from the Owl Crate quarterly subscription box. This was the last book that we got. Very beautiful edition. I'm obsessed with these sprayed edges. The inside is super creepy. I don't know what's going on here. I don't actually know anything about the story, but I definitely want to check it out because it looks super creepy. Next up, we have Vampires of El Norte. This is one where, like, I know it's a historical horror, and that doesn't always work for me. And I just read The Hacienda, which I feel like is going to give similar vibes to this. So I don't think I'm in the mood for it right now, but I do still want to read it. I've had this for forever. I got August of 2023 from Book of the Month. I've had this on my shelf for so long. But I'm afraid that I'm not going to like it. So why did I buy it? I don't know. Vampires. That's why I bought it. We'll see. The last two books I have in this horror stack are ones that I definitely want to try to get to this fall. And that is Tastes Like Candy by Ivy Tholine and also Fantastic Land. So these were on my fall TBR, if you watched that video. So hopefully we get to these very soon. All right, that was it for the horror. Let me go grab the thrillers. All right, I also lumped mystery in with this because I do have a few mystery books as well. So they're, again, kind of combined just because I don't have that many left. But first up, I have You Belong Here. I love Megan Miranda's writing, so really excited for that. Another one I'm really excited for is Forget Me Not. This is another one that is on my fall TBR, as well as the next one here, which is You Are Fatally Invited. This one I think is more mystery than thriller, but honestly, this map got me. I'm a sucker for a good map in a book. I also have Like Mother, Like Daughter. Don't know anything about this one, but it's a thriller, so I'm sure it'll be fun. And we have A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. I've read previous books from this author and enjoyed them, so that's why I picked this one up. And I have Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, another series that I've heard absolutely great things about, so I would like to get to it soon. I also have Count My Lies, another one that I just picked up from Book of the Month, knowing nothing about it or the author, so we'll see. The next one I have is another new addition to my shelf, and that is Strange Houses. This is like written by, I think, a YouTuber, and it's like a mystery detective kind of story. The whole book is filled with like different floor plans and stuff, and the whole story involves like trying to figure out like these weird little mystery empty spaces in these houses are in Japan, and like kind of like the mystery behind everything. And it was so intriguing to me because of all the floor plans. And I have another friend that is reading this right now too, so I'm interested to see what he thinks about it. And my husband also wanted to read it, so yeah, really excited to see what this is about. And then I also have the last three books of the Riley Thorne series. I read book one quite a while ago and thought it was pretty cute and interesting, so I would like to get to these. I don't really know what order they go in, but we have The Corpse in the Closet, The Blast from the Past, and The Body in the Backyard. That is it for my thriller pile. Next up, let's grab the dark romance. And I think I also included paranormal romance in with that, because most of my paranormal romance is dark romance. and then we'll do contemporary, and then that's it. All right, so yeah, let's start dark romance. First up, we have Kid by Jessie Hall. I did a Jessie Hall reading vlog a little while ago. I read 3 of her books, absolutely adored every single one. So Jenny picked this one up for me last year for Christmas during a like Secret Santa gift exchange. Then I have a bunch of special editions from Probably Smut Book Box. First up is Leave Me Behind. Been hearing fantastic things about this, so I would really like to get to this one soon. It's such a stunning edition too. I'm obsessed. I also have another one from Probably Smut Book Box, which is Damaged Goods. I know nothing about this, but it looks like maybe a bully romance. Another one that I don't know anything about, but it is book 1 in the Paladin series, and that is Whistleblower. And the last one I have from Probably Smut Book Box in this pile is Shadowed Obsession, which is, I think, just from like 2 months ago or something. I got it relatively recently. But the cover on this one is stunning. I love the pink, like the hot pink and black. It really pops. Now I have one book left from a Dark and Disturbed book box that I got a while ago, and that is Undeserving. However, this is not book 1 of the series. I think this is book like 3 or 4. I don't own the first couple books, so I think that's what's been holding me back from reading this one for so long. But it's a stunning cover. It's like a motorcycle club romance series. So I just finished a different one, so maybe we'll get into this one next. I don't know. We'll see. Another gift from Jenny, Moments of Malevolence. Another dark romance that I really don't know a ton about. I know he's a killer, as they usually are. And yeah, it's such a beautiful edition, though. So I'm really excited to buddy read this one with her. And then I also have Heartbreak Warfare, which again, I really don't know anything about. It was a cover by completely because this is like a hardcover edition and it's just gorgeous. And I've been trying to get caught up on all of my backlog of Jennifer Hartman. So 2 of the books that I have left, and then I think there's only like one more I need to buy and read. But I have Catch the Sun and The Wrong Heart. But I love her writing. I have not been disappointed by a single book that Jennifer Hartman has written. So really excited to get to these. And I just picked them up fairly recently during like an Amazon sale. Now, another series that I got as a gift, so I haven't read any of the books in the series yet, but I at least kind of know what they're about, is Block, Exodus, and The Finish Line by Kate Stewart. Another book that I really, really want to get to, and I don't know why I haven't read it yet, but that is Shallow River by H.D. Carlton. That is really reflective. But this is the only book by H.D. Carlton that I have not read yet, so excited to check this one out. The last one that I have here is the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. I have read books 1 and 2 so far. This is a bind up of books 1 through 5 because they're like novella length. So I've read 1 and 2. I really need to get through 3, 4, and 5. And probably sooner rather than later because honestly, I've been in the middle of this for like a year now, if not longer. And that's kind of sad considering how short they are. All right, let me go grab my contemporary romances. All right, so I have a few more in here that are from Probably Smut Book Box. First one being The Wallflower. This is probably the one I have had on my shelves the longest. Honestly, it's kind of intimidating to me. It's about 500 pages. The font is super tiny, and there's no audiobook. And I do best with an audiobook. So I don't know if or when I'll get to this one. I don't even know what it's about, but we have it. Next up, I have a couple books by Elsie Silver. The first one being Off to the Races, which is book 1 in the Gold Rush Ranch series. And then I have Wild Love, which is book 1 in the Rose Hill series. I've read 3 other books by Elsie Silver and have loved all of them. Um, so really excited to finish off the series I started, but then also start these series. I know she's still actively writing this one. Like, I think one of the books just came out recently. So we're a little behind, but we'll get there. Another probably smut book box book that I have is Crossroads by Devney Perry, which is book 1 in the Haven River Ranch. This one is a hardcover, but it's like cloth bound with this cute print on it. So this one's really special. And I have another cloth bound one by them as well, which is In Good Company by Kate Singleton. The little bows on this one are just so cute. Another one that I know absolutely nothing about, but it's adorable. And then I also have a hockey romance from probably Smut Book Box. Actually, 2. The first one is The Bad Boy Rule. I don't really love this cover, but I generally am a sucker for a sports romance, so I grabbed it anyway. And the other one is another hockey romance called Icebound, and I just love this little like cross-stitched hockey jersey on the cover. And then I have 2 more still from probably Smut Book Box, the first one being The Final Rose. This one honestly kind of sounds like it's The Bachelor. I don't know. He's the bachelor in the show, but I think she just like works on set and they end up falling in love. It's relatively short. I don't think I'm going to like it. I'm going to try it just because it's so short. And I have this special edition. And then I have book 2 in the Black Springs Ranch series, which is called Through the Dust by Amber Palmer. We are actually reading book 1 of this, which is Between the Pines, this month for our Love and Horror book club. So if you want to join us for this, link to the Discord is down below. Definitely join us over there. But yeah, so this is book 1 and this is book 2. They're both special editions from probably Smut Book Box, and I believe this whole series is on Kindle Unlimited as well. And then I have book 3 in the Love Light Farms series, which is Mixed Signals. Why have I not just finished it? I don't know, but that's me in a nutshell. I never finish these books. Or series, I guess. Especially contemporary romance, I struggle with like finishing the series in those. Next up, I have 2 books in I think it's called Too Hot to Handle series by Tessa Bailey. This is books 3 and 4, so Too Hard to Forget, and then Too Beautiful to Break. I didn't love the first 2 books in this series, but they were fine. Tessa Bailey's series are generally all like interconnected standalones, so some of the couples I'll love, some of them I won't. So I still do want to read these 2, because odds are I will love one of them. And they're really short too. She has very like quick bingeable books. I normally finish them in like a sitting. Next up we have another book 2 in a series, which is Wild at Heart. I read the first book in this series and absolutely loved it. It was a slow burn romance. I didn't think that was for me, but gosh, was I a sucker for it. So really excited to check this one out. Then we have In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yaros. I have not read any of her contemporaries, so I'm excited to see if I like them. And then I have the Dreamland and Billionaires series by Lauren Asher, books 1, 2, and 3. However, I don't know. When I bought these, I thought they'd be for me, but I've learned a lot more about my reading taste since then, and I honestly don't even know if I'm going to like these. So I'm going to give them a try because I do own them, but they're definitely not a priority for me because I think I'm going to hate them. But we have the fine print, terms and conditions, and the final offer. All right, guys, that is it. That is most of my physical TBR. Again, there's a few books mixed in there that I still need to read. but mostly I need to get this pile of books organized, so let's go do that. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know down in the comments below, is your physical TBR pile as out of control as mine is? Because, yeah, seeing this all now is sort of embarrassing, honestly. This is a lot more than I thought that it was. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future content. Give the video a thumbs up on your way out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.